started. So, do you like English? Why or why not?
Yes, I like English. It's an opportunity, I think, to communicate with non-Dutch people, and it's also in studying. There's a lot of extra knowledge that you can gather because you can read and speak English that otherwise would be unavailable. And of course, the movies and everything is also. It's all.
So you like it?
Yeah,
It's a
I do.
positive attitude. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to say, what's your name? Like you have to.
I'm Thomas Moyet.
Thomas Oyet. Thank you for participating. Okay, let's keep continue. I found that I forgot to
Don't
say
worry.
your name. It's alright. And the second question is about how do you think about the role of English in your life?
When I was a kid, I started playing online games, and everything was in English. So back then, especially, it had a big role. And then in school, I was doing that in school too. And then when I went to university, it at first was not so important because the first years are in Dutch. And then later we started meeting people from all around the world and having more international lectures.
Since when?
I think
Later,
in
what you mean?
well, in the first year of the bachelor, everything was in Dutch. And then in the second and the third came more
International?
international teachers and international lectures, sort of. So we went deeper into the material.
So, when you
Subjects.
were little, English plays a big role in entertainment part, right? And not in school, not like only not that big part.
Well, they did
How
teach
about-
English in school, yes.
Yeah.
But because I was using English in games and entertainment,
So that helps you
The-
the most,
that
or no?
yeah,
it,
that
it
I
plays
think
a
that
bigger
that's-
role.
yes, especially because doing that put me in front of people who didn't do that, sort of. And then the lessons in school became boring because I was like, yeah,
You already know
it's
them.
all I know this.
So, you mean like video game? Everything is in English or part of it? Like, what's the degree?
Most of the time, everything.
Everything.
Most games are entirely in English, yes.
Wow.
So that's and you can. It's also a good learning tool, I think, because you can like click on things and then it would give a description or whatever of what you
and you
click
have
on.
to
So then
read
you
it.
can you have to read it, so then you can learn all the words just by playing around.
And what about now? Like, what English plays a role in your life now?
Well, meeting international students is that is a big advantage because we can speak English. And
So
yeah,
can
some lectures.
lectures. So
Some media, yeah.
some media, for example, like TV or movies or
Sometimes you watch a
video.
movie or listen to music
In English.
in English, yes.
When you watch movie, it's in English speaking, but with Dutch title or I don't know. Can you share?
I dislike subtitles, I think.
So you only watch movies without subtitles and
Well, if
it
there's
only
if
speak
there
in English. Most of the time,
yes,
not
most
only.
of the time. If there are subtitles, then it's no reason to not watch the movie. But, I don't mind. I
Yeah.
don't mind some English.
So, can you share your personal English learning process and experience? Your personal stories.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, when I was in primary school even, when I was about 11 years old, I think, I started
Mm-hmm.
playing video games. Um, yeah, and then that's until I was 18. I think that was my primary source of experience with English. Um, yeah, and then I started watching movies, reading international news websites, basically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then everything got together, and then in studying, it also played an important role.
Yeah. So school studying
Um,
and your like movies and leisure activities in also in English.
yes.
Yes, that's a process. And what helps you the best on improving your English? What do you think? It's
Um,
for the whole process
I
from
think
the
yes.
beginning till now.
I think practice, um, not just studying English and
Uh-huh.
repeating lines of words, but yeah, putting it to practice. I think has made that makes a big difference. And you also have on the internet is great for English, I think, because you have people
Uh-huh.
from all around the world and they speak English differently.
Yeah, true.
Um, so you also get a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And
it's good.
like, do you think the media such as TV influence you a lot on learning English, and how? Not a lot, just influence you in English.
Um, yes, I do think so because for me on TV sometimes there are characters in movies or series or whatever that you sort of associate with,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that sometimes you start thinking in English, and that's I think that also helps if you can think in another language. Then that makes it more fluent
Uh-huh.
if you are speaking.
Do you have any moment that make you realize that English is so important in my life, or I've already can communicate well in English, or do you have any that kind of moment, that kind of story?
Um, well, not really the thought, that exact thought came to mind, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, thinking back, there are a lot of people like I would not have been able to get to know if I didn't speak English, so that has played an important role. Yes.
Yeah. So, could you compare your experience of learning English from classroom and from media? Like, how's it like in school, and how's it like in media?
Yes. Well, I feel like in school we had, you get these exercises and you're not really into it because, well, what does it matter? It's just doing an exercise. Um, so you're not personally involved in that, and they taught us words that you do
So,
not need, and
oh,
it's,
so,
not really that good. Um, and then, so what was the question again? Compared to media?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yes, and then in media you are, um, motivated from within, sort of, and that makes it better learning, easier to learn. Um, yeah.
How do you memorize vocabularies usually? What's the what's the method you use? Or
Here's the
just
thing. So I don't do that because it
oh
happens automatically. I think
oh I
it's
get it.
when you're sort of into it and you want to know what's going on.
So you remember
Right.
it, yeah.
I've never really sat down and started learning
I
English
s
with any
with like
with that goal in
vocabulary
mind.
books.
It's
Oh
yeah, you
really?
just you have to, yeah, especially in gaming, you have to communicate to
W-
get done what you need done,
When you're
right? So
playing, yes, and when you're playing games, you do need to speak in English. Like, is it a game with the audio communication with other players?
well, at first I played just
Just
games where you would type on the keyboard
in English?
in English,
Uh
yes.
huh.
And then later people also started using things like Skype.
Oh
Um,
yes, yeah.
so then,
My brother did that, but like shouting, like, come on, go to the
okay,
middle.
you got to keep calm, but
So you practice a lot your like oral ability of speaking English when playing games online.
not so much actually, because most of that was typing. But I did learn the words there, basically, and grammar. I think, well, as far as I'm doing all right with it. But
Grammar from school or
no,
from.
from just gaming and reading English, basically.
Oh, I get it. Just
Because yeah,
read a
if
lot.
you write, but you also have to read because other people reply.
Oh yeah,
And then you need, yeah, if you ask a question, you need to know the answer.
yeah.
That, and then yeah, so the grammar sort of just
How about
came
like
together. I think.
I know. So for listening, you practice English with listening by like movies and TVs, or did you do it deliberately sometime
Um,
for improving or
I've
no?
never done it deliberately.
Uh-huh.
I did watch Top Gear when it was still on, and that's a British show.
Top Gear.
Top Gear, like the car show with
Oh, Top Gear.
yeah,
Uh,
it's a little bit,
Topgear.
yes,
Okay.
with Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond and James May, and there was some controversy some time ago, but I watched that on the BBC, so there were no subtitles to
Uh-huh.
that, and that helped me a lot because yeah, they speak English because they are
Yeah.
British, right? Um, so you just have to, yeah, you have to follow,
You have
otherwise
to, yeah.
otherwise you don't
You don't
you
understand
don't
what they're
understand.
talking about. Yeah. So through the whole process, you feel comfortable learning English, or not?
Yes, I
Yes.
do feel comfortable. Well, yeah, but so in school I got bored. But
Like in
I guess I'm
class.
still comfortable being a little bit bored. You know? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, nice.
it's a
Thank you
nice
so much
experience.
for
You're
your
welcome.
experience sharing. It really helps a lot.
No
Thank you.
worries.
Dankjewel. Try it again.